everyone, welcome to Leslie Ray's Crafty Gig. I am Leslie Ray and I want to share with you some fun stuff about stencils tonight. And does everybody know what a stencil is? Stencils, I have tons and tons of stencils, and I have always been fascinated with stencils. I used to belong to a club called Club Scrap that did stencils in their kits, and every so often you would get a stencil, and see, all of these have little 3-inch hole punches. I have a whole notebook of these in the other room, but some of them I have brought out because I just really like them. And but I've had some of my stencils for years and years. And if you take care of them, they will last a long time, but you don't have to take super duper care of them. Some of my stencils you will see are well loved, and that's okay too. But this one is like from the January 2007 Club Scrap kit, and it's called I Love You, and it's got these really nice big dots and these cool swirly hearts, and then it's got the words I love you on it, and those are very cool. Like I said, it's an addiction I've had for a long time. I have this set that I used to buy that went with a company that did some really cool chalk stuff. And this company, let's see if I can read this. That's a different one, sorry. This company doesn't exist anymore, but I have tons and tons of their stencils because I loved them. And they worked together so that they could, it's called Fairy Tale Creations. And their stencils work together, so if you had this base one, you could line it up with their stencils like that. So you see how the Y goes on this, and you could make really cool projects. And so, of course, you know, I had my stars, and because I have a will, I have flames and all kinds of stuff, and I've always loved stencils, and I use them for different things. These were like chalk ones and all that. And I have, of course, brass stencils. Everybody has tons and tons of brass stencils. Well, I've kept them for years and years, and I go back to them and I check them out and use them, and then I, you know, like everybody else, get out of the habit for a while. And yeah, brass stencils, in case you're not. And so I go back and forth. But these are still my favorite. I can't seem to part with them because I still love doing them. And then I've got some stencils that just, you know, are real simple, like envelopes, or this is vintage. Too bad Fab's not here. This is vintage, hot off the press. I've had this stencil since my son was 3, maybe. So 10 years. So vintage, hot off the press, you know. That was before hot off the press was cool, because, you know, Fab did it. This is all, you know, pre-coolness and stuff. But I just love them and keep hold of them, use them here and there as I see fit. And lots of different alphabets. I do a lot with the alphabets in my journals and things. And then there are ones, let's see, even Club Scrap had alphabets. Look. There we go. Occasionally they would do an alphabet. So I thought those were really fun, and I always, you know, bring them back out when stencils start becoming popular again, because everything seems to have this cycle that it goes through. If you've been doing any kind of paper crafting and scrapbooking for years and years, you know the cycle of which I'm talking about. But then lately, stencils have gone crazy. And if you're not familiar with the Crafters Workshop, you really need to be, because the neat thing about the Crafters Workshop is they'll make a giant 12 by 12 one, and then they'll make an itty bitty one that matches it. And some things I have in both 12 by 12 and 8.5 by 11. But some things are not 8.5 by 11, but 6 by 6. But a lot of things I just have in this size. And while these do a great deal, and look, had to have flames again, because, you know, that's who I am. And while some things they do, I don't know what I was going to say there, sorry. But had to have flames, love Crafters Workshop, and they do tons of really cool things. Well, of course, other companies have gotten on board with stencils. And you see, like, Want to Scrap has a line of stencils that they do with Donna. And some of these, I have not even taken the paper off. And the reason being is because there's some techniques that you can do with it on. But this one, you see it's got the bubble in it. That's because I've been playing with it on and off, on and off. So, but Donna's stencils are all pretty small, and then she got addicted to jelly plates, and so now her stencils are getting bigger and bigger as well. So everywhere you look, you start seeing stencils if you get into the yo of it all. And one of the other things that I found is that lots of companies have Punchnella, can be used for stencils, but if you didn't like Punchnella like that, you could buy a stencil that looks like Punchnella. And some of these stencils are also from Altered Pages. This is a Andy Skinner stencil. He makes some really, really cool stencils. Love those. And, you know, if you look in my stencil box, you see the little stencils. They're well loved and used, and all the time reaching for my stencils. And then I have some new ones that I haven't touched yet, which I will touch later. And then, of course, everywhere I go, I'm looking for stencils. Those of you who are around me often know that I got these. These were all on one sheet, but I kept them apart. And I got these over at, what do you call that place? Walmart. And these are just a Plaid Company stencil. And I use them a lot too, as you can tell. So, have lots of fun with stencils. But still, sometimes you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, you know, I'm missing something. Or I want to make my own. Or, you know, what if I needed this? Or I would really like something more painterly or more, more my style that goes with this, instead of maybe you don't like these kind of flowers, maybe you're a sunflower girl. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm always looking for ways to change that. This is me playing. Okay. So, of course, being that I'm a die cut girl, the first thing I always reach for are the die cuts. And I will use the positives and the negatives of die cuts. Let me get a couple of these down, sorry. Just to play with. And they're a lot of fun when you're misting and spraying to get different little splats and things and use them for your stencil. Now, if you want something more permanent, by all means, they make a product called Stencil Material, and you can use that. But also, you could use some clear, or you don't even have to use clear. You could use any kind of contact paper, leave the back on, and that will make a good stencil. You could also use parchment paper and that kind of stuff, or foil, anything, because all you're going to do is spray across it and lift it up and have your stencil, right? And even with paper, you can still flip it over and get a little bit of an image. This ink that I'm using, that I was showing, is the Delusions ink, and it goes into absorbent materials so quickly. So that was just one miss, and it's already sucked into my paper. But if I had missed it several times, it would probably not go as fast. But let me find. I thought I had a little, what do you call it? pair of tweezers nearby, but I don't, so we're just going to work with it. But these are really cool, and the negative and the positive do an amazing job. Plus the fact that you could then let this dry, make an orange, you know, flower with it or whatever. So, oh look, we were talking about Fab, and there he is. So, so these, once I use these as a stencil, especially the white ones, I'll keep these to the side and let them dry, and go ahead and make flowers into them, because once they're dry, they'll be just fine. Oh, cool. Hi guys, welcome in. Glad you could join me. Joy in the Garden is my Aunt Joy Fab, in case you have forgotten. Everybody say hi. So, you know, if you have any kind of die cut machine, always when you're cutting, you have scrap paper, cut some extra to use as stencils, okay? I always have like a little bit of stuff left over, and see, like this one, if you look at it closely, I didn't cut all the way to the edge because this was just a partial, but that will be okay if I want to just come into the edge of something like this, not even get a whole spray on, and, you know, just have him running off the edge. So, but does everybody understand that? Anybody have any questions about using your die cuts? Now, I don't have like a Cricut, but if you had a Cricut, it is super, super simple and super easy to cut your own images using SVG files and all that kind of stuff. Making a really easy SVG cut using like GIMP. I've finally perfected how to make SVG cuts through GIMP, and you know, we can do something like that. I'll have to find somebody's Cricut to show you how to do it to the Cricut, but I can make the file for us. Yes, Fab, embrace your die cuts, because they are so much fun. And like, look, a big one that I didn't get all of it on there. And this will be very cool. Let me see if I can find, ooh, I love this one better. This is the green I was hoping I was going for. No, yep. So, see how much fun those can be? Especially with the doilies. These doilies are from Cherrylyn, and they are gorgeous, gorgeous doilies. And they have probably the most extensive collection of doilies that I have seen, bar none, for die cuts. And I love them. And see, now if I wanted to, I could put this on a canvas or something, because I could put it off the edge or, you know, whatever. And wouldn't that be fun? So, repurposing, right? Repurposing. I'll put this to the side. First, I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to put it to the side. So these are perfect for my art journaling, for my scrapbooking, for my stamping. Yes, but their doilies are extremely awesome. I am very excited with. I love how intricate these are. You know, it's just like the flowers we were playing with the other day. They're just very, very intricate and very easy to die cut and get something beautiful every single time. Well, this is fun, and still, there's always going to be something else that I want, right? Because you know me, I always have to have extra. I have to have more. I have to play with it till I can't play with it anymore. So, what I want to show you was what I was playing with at the beginning, and I can't seem to find where I put that. So, I'm going to show you. Now, you can do this on any surface you have. In a minute, I had sent Bill to go get me some paper from the store. Some, oh, what do you call that paper? Freezer paper. And he will bring that in for me in just a moment. But in the meantime, I'll show you a quick and simple thing you can do. Hi, Don. If you have a tile, now this is a marble tile, see it's even a little porous, and you can use this as well. But if you have a just a plain glass tile that's flat on top, you can use that too. And let's say you really needed a sunshine with a swirly in the middle, but you just didn't have one. Get out ye old hot glue gun. Let's see if I can get this going. Here we go. And make you your own sun. And then make sure, whatever you're doing, your lines connect. Like this one didn't quite connect. There. Okay, so I've got my swirly going on. Okay. Oh, thank you, dear. And now we have freezer paper. Okay, but just a minute. Because I want to show you, because this works. It really does. Because I was playing with it before I had freezer paper. And then I was out of freezer paper. And actually, you can keep these if you want to keep them for any length of time. You can keep them. Hot glue guns hate you? Why do they hate you? This is my big hot glue gun. I have quite the collection of hot glue guns because we will go with a group somewhere and need several because you know, getting your craft on. And I have probably all total, I think I have like 6 or 7 little ones. And then this is my favorite one that I use all the time. This is a dual temp one. I had one that lasted for flippin' ever. It lasted and lasted and lasted. And then I finally wore it out. And so when I went to get one, they didn't have a whole lot of choice. They had the little bitty ones. But I wanted one that was easy to use because I do a lot of gluing, especially when I'm doing, what do you call it? Costuming. And I didn't want something that would hurt my hand. So, you know, doing a lot of grabbing. So here is my swirly sun. We're going to let this cool for a minute, okay? So that it's going to peel. But while it's doing what it's doing, I'm grabbing some of the little hairs and whiskers off. Now, sometimes, if you look in the swirl, you see a little bit of whiskers here and there. I will probably leave those because I think it'll be interesting in the actual scheme of things. So, But make sure when you're doing this, and we're going to do it on the butcher paper next, but make sure that you have lines connecting so that when I pull this up, this inside stuff and all the outside pieces are going to go. Because if you do some decoration in here, but you don't have anything connecting it to your outside, you'll have a two-piece stencil, which could be fun. You might want a two-piece stencil, or maybe not. So, alrighty. So I'm going to let this sit for a minute, but you can see it's going to pull right up. Actually, okay, I'm done waiting. Let's pull it up. Everybody's talking about how dangerous working with glue guns can be. And yes, always use safety precautions when you're doing a glue gun. I set this down on a 2-temp glue gun. If you're playing with a tile like this, it has been my experience that when I lower the temp so that it's not at the, scald your hand temp, it's at the lower temp, that it does much better at coming off your tile. That is my experience. So, before I tried to pull the whole thing off the tile, I wanted to make sure all my little tentacles on my sun were up. So, and on the tile, this will come off a little slower than on the butcher paper. On the butcher paper, it comes up quite a bit faster, and I'll show you that too. Because the difference between doing this on tile freehand, like we just did, and doing this on butcher paper is that on the butcher paper, you can draw. Now, okay, so we have a sun, and we can go in here and pull off some more of these little dangly hairs if you want to. Clean them up a little bit. There we go. Okay. And so when you go and spray him, we're having an orange sun today, so there you go. So you have your little, missed part of that. Okay. So you've sprayed him. Ready? So you have that as a stencil. And then you can have like a nice little, depending on how lumpy and bumpy he is, you can have a nice little altar image as well. So, and the cool thing is you've got this forever if you want him. Or, if you didn't really like him, you could toss him in the bin, But I can see doing a lot of cool things with this. So let's pull out the paper. So it's funny because I'll be going, down the list of what you do need to pick up at the grocery store. And I'll ask for, I need some foil. I need some cans that have blue on them. I need, this, that, and the other. And Bill's like, cans with blue on them. Yes, I want to die cut some snowflakes, and I need the cans to have blue. I don't care what's in them. You can drink it, just as long as the cans are blue. So we buy things like that a lot at my house. Or my favorite is when I'm doing stuff with water bottles, and I need a specific size, and I will say, okay, I need this size, or this size, or I need it to have this kind of dome. And my family looks at me, but they know better because I'm always. But in case you missed the reveal, ooh, ah. So here's where it gets fun. Okay, let me get a Sharpie marker real quick, because where I wanted to go with this is I want Sharpies. Y'all know how I love to Zentangle and doodle. And so, get out your markers. And draw what you want to draw. So let's pretend I want to do a fancy L because, you know, I love my L. So here, let me get it started. And I want to do it script, okay? And I want to, okay. So you can have your L, get it started, okay? I'm going to turn it this way for you now. And now I want to thicken him up. And if you're not a drawer, by all means, go and print something off on the printer, okay? Never, ever be afraid to do that. And just trace it. I mean, because this is for your own personal use, so, you know, what's the big deal? Now, you can, this one, I'm going to have, like, little stripes. But you could make your whole alphabet. You could spell just a word. Any of that stuff. Now, remember, while you're doing this, if you do something that has dots, that you need to have it connect somehow. So, if you can't connect it, then don't draw it, is my thought. Okay? So, this will come back up this way. But you might want to make a big blob here, a big blob there. And so, there's my L. And you notice the gun I'm using has kind of a, not a super pointy edge, but a pointy enough edge, okay? Oh, shoot. We may have to wait. It came unglued, or unplugged, so just a second. We have to wait for it to, while we wait for it to heat up, let's draw something else as well to go with it. Okay, so have an idea there of going for something with a Zentangle. You know how I love my flowers. So I'll draw a flower. Now, looking at my flower, this one was a little bit longer. Well, this is where I can shorten it. I don't have to make my glue gun go all the way out to there, right? And then, since normally I would put dots, but since my glue gun, like I said, I don't want my dots just hanging out there in the middle, I will make an effort to put dots like that. And I am drawing, this is not just butcher paper, but freezer paper. And it has one side that's shiny. I'm drawing on the shiny side. Okay. And I'll probably thicken up this line right here. And then I'll make some circles that go into it. And you notice I'm making them touch the edges, okay? Anybody have any questions? Oh, thanks. My Carrie did them for me. See how my glue is coming out. Okay. Since I'm right-handed, I'm going to do the L first and then that, so I'm not accidentally sticking my glue. I need to turn this up for a minute so it'll finish heating up. I like to turn this up on high when I am heating it up, and then I bring it back down to low when I'm working on this, but it heats up faster on high. I don't know why. So does anybody have any questions? And see, you could make a whole, like 8.5 by 11, where they all kind of ran together, you know? There's so many things you could do with this. This is so much fun. Now, the reason I did an L and not like an S is because remember you have a positive and a negative. So if you're going to do letters or words, print it so that it's backwards. So when you make your stencil, unless you're going straight on it, you know what I mean? Be cognizant of which way your thing is going to turn. Okay, this should work. So I'm gonna start with my curve. And I'm going to go this long curve here. And remember, you're working with hot glue, so that's why I drew nice thick lines. It looks dangerous. Well, don't go sticking your finger in it. You know, don't just, and get in there. Just follow along. Remember I said I was using the low temp. Okay. It's not that final line. I'll show you up closer in just a minute, Tristan. And see, the little spider webs are not that, they're not hot. Okay. I'll pull this up where you can kind of see the lines better. You can see that the lines are pretty thick. Can you see them? All right. So I may not get as delicate a line between all of them. And that's okay. Be patient with yourself when you're doing this. You know, I may have had more grandiose ideas than I actually can produce. But this is my favorite tool for doing costuming. This and aluminum foil. You can make such cool little badges and things with hot glue gun and aluminum foil. We've made some really neat medallion looking decor, or you know, like if you needed a badge for a police officer, things like that. I had a fantastic costume design friend when I worked at the Fine Arts Center here at our university. And she was a mad woman with a hot glue gun. She could make anything with a hot glue gun. We needed like special things for the kilts for Brigadoon. She made them all with hot glue and spray paint. Coolest thing I've ever seen. And we're just all using freezer paper and hot glue and spray paint. Thanks, Fab. Tell Amanda I said hey. Actually, Amanda probably just heard me say hey. Well, log in from your tablet, Bill. I got Bill a new toy. Oh, look, there's Ace number 1 Rooster. That's my husband. Everybody say hi to Bill. Oh, ha. Everybody has said hi to Bill. I was busy playing with my hot glue gun. Cool. You keep losing the stream. Let's see. I know, Tristan. The glue guns for costuming are fantastic. Now, I'm just taking a toothpick. That's my tool. A toothpick. And going along where I have extra spider webs. Because I don't want my L to be a spider web. Now, see right here where when I pulled off I have this little goober. Well, the easiest thing to do with little goobers is get a goober cutting knife. And there we go, this will work. I'm just using a craft knife, okay? I know, scary equipment tonight. Sorry, guys. But, you know, learn to love your equipment. It'll be okay. I promise you can do it and not hurt yourself. Okay. Now, this is cool to the touch. It's still a little bit warm in places, but that's okay. I'm going to let it sit while I do my flower. Okay. Alright, flower. I'm going to start from the inside, work my way out. I'll make this nice and fat. So, you know, in doing this, you'll learn what your glue gun will allow you to do, what kind of lines your glue gun will allow you to make. Here we go. Now, if you don't want these circles to be, you know, circly, you want them to be blobs, by all means, fill them in. And I may fill in some and do circles for some. But the other thing is, since it will cut with an X-Acto knife, you can do that too. But always make sure, like this one, I'm going to make a blob right there. Make sure your make sure you touch your lines. Remember what I said, you might have an outside and an inside. Okay. Hi, Mommy. I don't know if everybody checked out the gorgeous card that Fab made that's over at Fave Crafts. But if you have missed it, you need to go see it. Fab, you should be able to post a link. I opened up links earlier. But it's gorgeous. It's using hot off the press papers, and I can't remember if that was a paper toile or what, but it was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So you need to go look at it. You can also see it on my wall. I shared it on my wall. Yes, the peacock. You missed it, Fab. I shared some of my vintage hot off the press templates earlier. I am building a template, Mommy, with hot glue. Yes, we've all been missing Fab's famous hot off the press creations. It's been a long, dry summer. You are welcome. It's just something not right in the paper crafting world if Fab isn't creating a card for us. He's been inspiring us, finding beautiful creations for us to inspire with, but he just has a certain flair to his cards that is just always so classy and beautiful. So anyway, I have a lot of trimming to do with this one. Now I've read, I have not tried this myself, that if you put your glue sticks in the freezer, you get less little things, but I have only read that. Now, peacocks, especially if you're a young couple trying to have little people in your house, you should not have peacock feathers. But other than that, that's the only thing I've ever heard about peacocks being unlucky. I can't wait to see what else Fab has, because he always has some cool sneak peeks of of hot off the press stuff. So yes, if you haven't seen it, click on the link. Okay, think about this, guys. Make some fun snowflakes with your hot glue to use as stencils, or like Dawn said, spider webs to use as stencils, or let's see what else would be anything simple. You could make some blob ghost. I may make a blob ghost in a minute. That sounds like fun. A blobby ghost. And then, because you could make him, and then, you know, he'd be solid, and you could lay them down and do your misting around them. You know, anything you want to do solid. And of course, anything you wanted to attempt with line art. You could get some kids' color book images, which I may go find my Snoopy one and make me a Snoopy stencil. I think that would be fun. Or a Woodstock stencil. Woodstock would be super easy to make a stencil out of. He's just so cute and literally, never mind. He's full of lines. Somehow get his little wing to attach to the body. I've got lots of little cutting here to do around this one, so. And these could be so personal. And then if you had just like needed an acrylic sheet, you could stick these to an acrylic sheet to keep them. Mom has some acrylic in the store that would work perfect for that. These work with any of your mists. You don't have to use special kinds of mists. You could make your own mist. You could use your smooch spritz. You could use your delusions. You could use your tattered angels. Whatever you wanted. Make it all cool and fancy. I want to do another dot there. Okay. I'll let this one dry. Unplug that for a minute. Because I want to play with this one. And get it out. You ready? And because this is parchment paper, it'll peel off a little easier. Or not parchment paper, but whatever. You know what this is. Butcher paper. No, not butcher paper. Shoot, guys, I'm sorry. I have no words tonight. Freezer paper. Okay. The freezer paper kind of stuck in places, but that's okay. Because really all you need is where it's on the paper. Now, if it's in one of your negative spaces that it's stuck, like right there, just poke it out or trim it out or pull it out. You could run it under water and wash it off. That would work too, because it's just paper. Just hang in there, Daniela. Sometimes the internet is just not very nice. Last night, I was writing my post, and I had it partially written, and I went to upload my actual images that I wanted to put in there, and the whole thing went down and just wouldn't come back up, and I ended up having to call my ISP to get it back on, And because I had restarted my computer, I had restarted the server, had redone everything like twice, and it still wouldn't come back up. And finally it came up. He did something on his end. I know he did. He had to have. But I was kind of freaking out because I had a post written, but no images. Okay. So, got just a little bit here that I want to pull off. Because I'm not rich and famous yet, Daniela, and haven't won the lottery, Ustream runs ads during my show. So, to help pay for it, so I don't have to pay for it. It's free for me to stream. One day I'll be rich and famous. I need food too. Go get me something. Although I do have a snow cone. Everybody should be so lucky to have a husband that'll bring you a snow cone. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're going to spray that one here in a minute. Okay. Yes, the ads pop up. And so if I'm in the middle of explaining something, somebody will say ad. So either A, I can wait, although there's a time that passes by, that it's just a delay. It's not always instantaneous what you hear and what I'm saying. And then sometimes it will, you know, indicate to someone, oh, okay, there's an ad. So when they come back, you can say, okay, this is what you missed. You know, she gave away a car. So things like that. Oh, and I have M&Ms. Yes. These were tossed on my desk. I gave him a coupon. He brought me back M&Ms. Where we live, we don't have very good couponing in our papers, and so I went online the other day and printed off a bunch of ads, and, or not ads, but coupons, and I gave him my coupon for M&Ms, and he brought me M&Ms. Okay, I'm going to run through here, because if you look, let's see if I can get it to show you. See, there's little bitty spider webbies, especially like here. See them? I'm going to cut those out real quick, okay? So, and they're super easy. I'm not pressing hard. I'm probably not even going to score the paper. That's how not hard I'm pressing, okay? I'm just kind of cleaning this up. Yeah, you can spritz through it, but on this one I don't want it. On something like a spider web, I think it would be uber cool. But on this, I don't want as many of them. You know, I've got a whole lot on this one. The conversation that's going on is between my husband and his mother-in-law, which is my mom. I got my husband an early Christmas present and birthday present. It's an early present for the next couple of years. Anyway, he got a Nexus tablet, which is very cool. We've been looking at tablets and stuff, and Will has a Kindle. And we like the Kindle, but there are some things that it just won't do. And so he got this Nexus tablet, and it is very cool. And I wanted to see if I could watch, streams from it and chat. And I really wanted to watch it, I guess, Monday or something like that. I wanted to watch Tracy, and I forgot Tracy wasn't having her show on Monday. So I didn't get to watch Tracy on Monday because she was not streaming. And, you can pull out your scissors if you want to cut it too. Ooh, that's another thing. You could make just a big old blob and cut them. Here we go. This makes it safer for those who can't handle an X-Acto life like Amanda. Because Amanda might cut herself. I have to pick on Amanda because I know she's listening. She's just not able to chat. So probably in a minute here I'll get a note from Fab. Amanda says stop it. Or something to that effect. Or we could pick on Bill. Bill couldn't use the X-Acto knife either because he tends to hurt himself with knives. Although he's been pretty good. I shouldn't say anything. That will jinx it. But a couple of Father's Days ago, his kids got him this really cool knife that had a box cutter and different, little parts to it. And so, that same Father's Day, we also got a new hot water heater. And so Bill was making a house with the box for the kids and cutting windows and doors and sliced open his finger. And we had to go to the emergency room for Father's Day. So we have memorable types of things. Okay. All right. So, which do you want to see first? The L or the flower? Or both at the same time? I think I'm going to do the L first. What if I have a blue? Let's see, I can see doing some little bees and misting them on some stuff for the kids. You want to see the flower first? Okay, I'll do the flower first. It comes across. Flower, we want to see the flower. I was fixing to do the L first. Okay. Well, good night, Fab. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you came and hung out for a while. We've missed you. Ciao, Bella. Ready? Ooh. Ah. What do you think? That's cool. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do the flower. And because we're playing with the ink, I do that to it. Ready? Ooh. Ah. What? Look, now I've got an orange hand. So what do you think? You like that? Night, Dawn. Night, Mommy. Here, let's do the L. Ready? I know, these are cool. Here we go. Ha! Love that! Now we can make an L look like a, you know, L for Laverne. Because, you know, Laverne and Shirley. Ooh, salad and shrimp. That will be cool. Sorry, gotta go. Bye. See you later. Ready? Oh, wait a minute. I want a little blue in there, too. I sprayed that from way up high, so. Oh, I know what we haven't done. This is new. This is supposed to kind of lighten it up. Should be fun. Ready? Here we go. That got kind of weird. That looked kind of weird to y'all? Got kind of weird to me. Here. The neat thing with the L is we can go like this. Okay. Let's try again without getting so weird. Some yellow in there. See, the neat thing with this is we can push this down a little bit. And then I have an idea here. Hang on. Work with me. I have an idea. Okay. Put this down. Find my... Here we go. Okay, here we go. Ready? We got this. I want just a smidge of green in there. The reason I want a smidge of green is because it makes it almost a brown. Okay? The colors mix really well. And then, now, I got it too liquidy. Look at that. I still like the look though. Yes, I use the white spray. I'll show you the white spray in a minute here. Like if you do a dark spray, the white spray is new. Let's do the blue. Okay, so you do some blue. Oh, my printer's looking really cool now. I have to take a picture of my printer in a minute. Some of that. Let's do the funky fuchsia. And maybe some red. Okay. Sorry, they kind of missed it on top of each other. I'm just spraying on plain old white paper, or like copy paper. And it's soaking in really fast, but so it lightens it. So if you were doing a background, let's say you had let's do this. We'll use this flower stencil. It's up on top. Okay. Let's say you did just some of that. Maybe added a smidge of yellow in there. And maybe a smidge of red or orange over here. Okay. So you got a basic color going on. Give it a little pat. And then you want some of these big faced flowers in there. Okay. Isn't that nice? That love. This is the white linen delusions. All of these delusions you can get at Altered Pages. Yeah, you can get the white one at you can get all of them at Altered Pages, but this is such a cool thing. Love that. Love how that looks. So, in fact, this I may take and put in my book as is. I did not get all the colors I wanted. I still need to go back and get like a purple, and I want brown and black. So, but alteredpages.com has these sprays. They just got them in, and then she told me she just got in the Delusions art journals also in the 2 sizes. So I haven't played with that yet. Been playing with this. This is fun. These are fun. My little shapes are fun. I like these. So, does anybody have any questions? Now everybody's going to go get some hot glue. Make them some stencils. I hope. Now, Maya Road Mist has a pearl that would, instead of turning this kind of ghosted color white, it's what Diane calls it, a ghost color. Or not ghosting is when she flips them, but it, kind of does this. It doesn't turn it white. It still takes on the color underneath. So it's not completely white. Okay. So you see a little bit of the orange in here. You see a little bit of the lime, the fresh lime color in here. But it will go over the top. Maya Road has mica in it, so it makes it all bright and shiny. And also Smooch Spritz has some mica in it. It makes it all nice and shiny. So there you go. That's what I wanted to show you. Some different things you can use besides stencils to use as stencils. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. Add these to your art journals. That's what I plan to do. And I will let y'all go for the evening and hope you have a great weekend. I plan to play and work at the house and play some more. So if there are no further questions, I will chat with you lovely ladies and gentlemen later. So thank you for stopping by. Daniela wanted to say someone had mentioned making spider webs before, and she says she usually makes them with black glue in the glue gun, which would be perfect. But you could make a stencil out of whatever color you wanted, and then you could have spider webs to use in the corners that you could use over and over again. But using it on like a little canvas or something would be fantastic. Thank you, Jen. I'm glad you could make it. I hope your days are getting easier. Hi, it's hi, Beta Dragonfly. Please feel free to log in and watch it again and again. I'll leave it up on Ustream for a week or so, but I will upload it tomorrow to YouTube. Okay? everybody. So have a good night. Thank you for showing. I appreciate you all. Take care.